Right.
We said awesome sauce. So
we're live.
So
happy Valentine's Day. Happy Halloween.
So Kenzie, what did you make? Hold on a minute.
Well,
happy Halloween spectacular. So what dessert did you make, Kenzie? I heard Kenzie made a dessert today.
Oh, here
for Valentine's Day.
It's a bit before it goes in the fridge. It's like a little fudge molten. It's a chocolate molten fudge cake. The recipe today. And I noticed about an hour ago that it needs to be refrigerated for 4 hours.
So
I spent the hour leading up to the stream making. Mom helped me. We made they're like in little ramekins.
Yeah.
Excited about them. We're having them for dinner and then for dessert, and then for dinner we're having a mac and cheese gnocchi. So.
Oh, yum. Well, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Kenzie's baking and cooking, and we're being nice to each other, aren't we, Jeff?
She made me go look at houses today. I'm not happy.
Oh my God.
I didn't like where we looked, so that I won't talk about it anymore. At least at that place.
Yeah. Anyway, so welcome in Daniel Disinfinity, Oh Snap Productions, Keith BDF the BFD, Mike Wheeler. Hello, welcome in. Christine Hickman, Garrett Monarch Moments, part of the Legion of Doom.
Whoa. Garrett is not part of Monarch Moments. He is now considered Garrett from Moth Moments. He doesn't rate a Monarch. He's a Moth.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Jamie, Lady Jamers, welcome in. Suzanne, hello, fellow nerds. So Suzanne and Carlos watched Age of Ultron last night.
Oh.
So that's awesome.
Big
Abby
steps.
and I watched it too last night.
Big steps.
Oh, coincidentally.
I went to Magic Kingdom with Zach.
Yeah.
Matt's here.
Matt, welcome in. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's
you just
nice.
made Jeff's day. You didn't.
Yeah.
I was here. Didn't make Jeff's day then. No.
He saw Matt's
you make me some hot pepperoni sandwiches. You'll make my day, Tracy.
Wow.
I'm only
Carlos.
as good as my last hot pepperoni sandwich.
Exactly. Carlos, welcome in. Stevie Lee, hello, welcome in. So yeah, Carlos and Suzanne really liked Age of Ultron because he was trying to get some background on the Vision and Wanda. Yeah. And I told him to watch Infinity War and Endgame to follow up to see how Vision
it all fits together.
William, England, Portugal, welcome in. All right, so let's go around. What did you think of this episode? Let's go around the
table.
And we'll start with Russ, Kenzie, Tracy. What did you think of this episode?
So I enjoyed this episode. It totally turned all of my theories upside down, and now I've had to come up with new ones, which we can talk about. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was really good the whole way through. I thought it was a fun episode, but also very interesting. And and again, it's more character development for everyone involved. So
yes,
I think it's cool. So
welcome in Jay Nashville and Amy. Thank you for being here. Kenzie?
I thought this was a really great episode. I really enjoyed it. I love, everybody being in their costumes. I love the fact that everyone was basically in the costumes that they are in their comics, including the kids. Tommy and Billy were in Wiccan and Speed outfits at the very beginning of the episode. That was really cool.
And they get the powers.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, that was really cool. Well, the whole time, the one who's Wiccan is wearing the Wiccan outfit. It's just it's really cool.
I didn't catch that.
I'm super nerdy about Halloween, so I loved seeing all of that kind of stuff. I thought, I don't know, it was just really cool getting more, knowledge about what's going on outside of Wanda's immediate vision area. And I already know that Halloween this year is going to be filled with Wandas. It's going to be the Harley Quinn of 2021. Seriously, everyone's going to be wearing that Wanda costume.
And Mexican wrestlers.
Yeah, that was funny.
Welcome in, Chris.
Or boogers.
Blue Nose 352. Welcome in.
It's not a Scarlet Witch outfit. It's a what did she call it? She called it a
Sokovian
fortune teller.
Fortune teller.
But no, Scarlet Witch. I think that's going to be really big on Halloween this year, and sad because I already have a Scarlet Witch outfit.
Well, you have the modern one.
Yours is awesome.
Modern one. So everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, you're wearing Wanda because of Wanda." No, I've loved Wanda since Civil War, Age of Ultron, all of that stuff.
Oh no, Kenzie, we have proof.
So long.
Yes, we have proof.
Welcome in, Ryan, Captain Akron, 27. Welcome in.
Garrett's already got his Wanda costume, so he
Tracy?
I liked it. I liked how, you know, all the little things that are popping up that we're catching up to. I mean, what's going on outside? A little bit more of Monica Rambeau information came up. It's just awesome. I think together. I mean, was it the best episode? Probably not. But was it a great fan episode? And to see what's happening outside of Wanda's immediate vision or outside of Wanda's immediate persona or area. I think that was a totally interesting on what we came up with, or what we came out with.
Yeah.
Well, it answered our question from last week. Is so what happened? Where's all everybody else, and where have the kids been?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we still don't know where they've been, though.
No, you don't. No, we don't.
I am excited to talk about all of the Quicksilver stuff this episode because I find it very interesting that he is not under any type of control whatsoever, and he can read through everything.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So cool.
And I do have theories.
Okay.
One more person say Mephisto is here. I'm gonna scream.
Nope. That's not my theory.
I don't know who Mephisto is, so
Suzanne said, Kenzie, if you're Wanda, will Matt be the booger?
I will try and convince Matt to be the booger.
Or Kenzie, or just like in this episode, the only reason why Vision's wearing that costume because that's the only thing he had in his closet.
That was so wild when he said that.
If you caught that, she pretty much forced him to wear it because she took all of his other clothes away.
Yep. Well, he didn't have any other clothes.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That was his.
He doesn't need clothes; they just appear on him. So
there they are. Oh, Jeff's trying to figure out how to do the solo layout. There they are.
So cute.
The booger. Okay.
Why do you keep calling him a booger?
I don't know.
Because he's dressed in green.
That's what Quicksilver calls him.
That's what he calls him.
That's what, and
said,
that's what he agrees
I know what
on.
you are.
That's
You're
what
a booger. And he said, yes. And he goes, yes.
Jesus is here. I'm disappointed in the lack of cheese. Okay. Billy, hello. Welcome in.
Yes.
If I missed anybody else. What did you think of the episode?
I really liked it. I mean, I thought it pulled a lot of things together. It left us with a lot more questions. I didn't look at any of the other interpretations that people have had. I know that you guys
trying to avoid other people's.
Yeah. So I can only go by how much my little brain can absorb with these movies, because again, I don't have a lot. I do have some background, but I don't have, as much insight as you all do with the comics. Like Kenzie, you noticed their costumes. All I noticed was the whole Malcolm in the Middle feel with the episode.
Awesome. I love Malcolm in the Middle.
Yes.
I used to love Malcolm in the Middle, and I thought that opening was awesome. The fourth wall break was great.
Yeah. And just a little, like, when they'd say something, it would go like, like the music would, I don't know, just the whole feel of the way that they filmed it. I thought that was really cool.
So they went with Malcolm in the Middle. So this week, I guess Vision's out there in the desert making meth.
What?
The guy who played Malcolm in the Middle's father was the same guy who played Heisenberg in Breaking Bad.
Never saw it.
Oh, okay. Never saw it.
That's
welcome in England.
Thanks for listening hard drugs on Jeff and Angie's channel.
Welcome in, William. England, Portugal, 91. I thought this was my least favorite episode of Mall. I still find it entertaining.
See, I can't believe it was the least.
I don't agree with any of Jeff's negative opinions about episodes. He's always like, I don't like this episode. Because you didn't like half of Mandalorian last season. And that's just crazy.
I just thought this was like the least. I don't know. I just like this one. I liked it, but this is
how
the
many
one I liked
times
the least.
did you watch this episode this week?
3, right?
Four times.
4 times.
See, that's more than me. I only watched it once.
Yeah, we watched it.
Well, you got to understand what happens in the Diz Our Dream household. First off, Jeff watches it. Then Angela watches it, or Angela watches it, and then Jeff has to watch it and explain to Angela what she missed.
No.
I'm playing a joke here, people.
Mute him. He's not funny.
Yeah, didn't go over very well, did it?
Hear it. I can hear it. Hear it.
Welcome in, Nick, and welcome in, Tony, Phantasma Chronicles. Welcome in. Jeff has refined. No, I like the episode. This was just my least favorite of them all.
Okay, you're saying that if you were to rank all of the episodes, this one would be at the bottom?
Yes.
Not
Yes.
for any negative reason, but just
No.
that's okay. All right.
That's not that
The
I
other ones
didn't.
are so much better.
I thought the other ones were that much better.
See, me personally,
I would put the first episode at the bottom just because there's just not as much happening. Personally, that would be where this would probably be in my top 3.
But
But it's funny because
the first episode, though, it just has you guessing. Like,
it's not making any sense.
This one, it's like you're following along with the story, but it just like it ends so abruptly. Like you want more.
Well, I'm looking at it as more like a mini series. I'm not thinking of it as episodes. I'm like, okay, I'm loving this, all of it. So
Yes, me too.
that's where
Me
I'm
too.
looking at it. Is like
Yes.
I just love it, and I love the continuation of the story every week.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
it just brings you back for more every time. So
Yeah, and I think it was so confusing in the first episode when we were first introduced to it, how that woman kept saying like, "Stop it, stop it,
Notice
stop it,"
I haven't seen
and
her.
now we see Agnes, "You're dead, dead." It's
Yeah.
like these people are like caught in between something. They don't know what they're saying. I don't know if Wanda's controlling it, but what happened in that first episode is now making more sense because it's happening to all of them. Where they're getting into these little like middle, there's their reality that they're in with Wanda, there's their real reality, and then there's this middle, and some of them are like stuck in the middle here and there. So
Welcome
anyway.
in, Candy Tink 94. Thank you for being here.
So-
Carla, really, I like this episode. They ended it way they did for suspense. Yeah, I realized that, but I just thought I like this episode. I just liked it the least of all of them so far.
Yeah.
I have to
Well,
say, I've never. What?
I would put this above the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Episode 4, then here, like this isn't the top one. I think that one episode that we got wherein we now interrupt this broadcast. That would be my top one.
Got everybody outside.
Right. But I like now that the fact that we have both sides of what's going on. The first 2 episodes left us so much in the dark. We were like, are you sure what we're watching is worth the watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it made you want more, though. It made you want more.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about the episode in general right now is how amazing of a trio we have with Jimmy Woo, Monica Rambeau, and Darcy. Like that group.
They need their own show.
They do. And there's actually been a whole thing about they want a show about Jimmy Woo going through and like dealing with things in the universe. And there's
Jimmy Woo goes kind of badass on this episode.
He sure does.
Yeah.
Why didn't anyone let me in on the plan?
Yeah, that was Darcy.
I know, that's what I mean.
Well, Darcy wouldn't have done anything anyway.
But I mean, my point is,
But Darcy,
yeah.
So I'm just hoping that the next episode, when they zap up another 10 years, that we get Darcy in her Two Broke Girls outfit, and
you're all about this 7th degree of separation today, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Is she in that show?
She was a waitress in a show called
Broke Girls.
Two Broke Girls, and she was a waiter, and she was such a wise cracking individual that what you see in just WandaVision times it by 10, and that's what you would get in Two Broke Girls.
Welcome in, Keystone 76.
And also, I was just gonna say about the 3 of them, when it was like who was gonna let me in on the plan, I feel like honestly Jimmy just did something and Monica was like, all right, let's go. She's like, there was no plan, Darcy.
Yeah, right.
They just went for it. And it was so funny.
Welcome in, Thene Amazing.
And I agree with you, Thene Amazing. I 100% stand behind that.
See, I think the only real reason for this episode was to show that
Yeah, a lot
That
of one-liners.
Quicksilver. Wanda has no idea why Quicksilver is there or who she's trying to figure out who Quicksilver is. Like,
Yeah, I like how
she
was
doesn't
testing
recognize him. She keeps testing him. She like when they mention the typhus, going how when they had typhus, and she's like, well, I don't remember it that way. And she's asking him questions about the
Who was that
Or-
kid that picked on him in the orphanage?
So
Yeah.
she's like quite like trying to figure out who he really is.
Yeah.
I think that there's something the way that I was explaining when we were watching the episode, I said this seems more like X-Men's Quicksilver than Marvel's Quicksilver. By the way that he acts like a teenager, he acts like a bum, he's a slob. He's basically X-Men's Quicksilver when you first meet him.
Right.
Okay.
That's how I was looking at it, but I'm still not 100% sure if this is supposed to actually be tying into X-Men or if it's just supposed to be some fun little, oh, look, it's someone who's also played Quicksilver before. Like,
You're right.
I'm
Right.
not really sure if it's exactly supposed to be a tie-in to that or if it's just like a little reference.
I almost think that it's just because he's the Quicksilver that everybody knows from that universe.
Yeah.
And because they killed him in the movie, they bring him back as this one in order to use him for later. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All I
Because
wanna say-
I don't necessarily think that this is a tie-in yet to X-Men. It's the introduction to X-Men, but not necessarily the story will go that direction.
what I really like about this is that this is getting people to watch X-Men because, there are people who've never watched it who are like, why is
Right.
this so important? And all of us dorks who have seen X-Men too are like, go watch it.
Yes.
Go watch it. Like,
Yeah. And to be honest, he was the better Quicksilver in my opinion. But,
Do you think?
oh, I agree. I think
yeah,
X-Men
totally.
is better than
Totally.
Marvel's.
Well, my favorite line in the whole show was when the three of them break back into camp and they see the TV and Quicksilver's on the screen, and Jimmy goes, Wanda's brother came to town, and then Darcy says, yeah, and he brought the wrong face.
Yeah.
That's my favorite line.
Well, and you remember how last week I was wondering how Darcy knew that that's who, that he
Yeah.
was Quicksilver. I went back and watched it again. The timing of it, he says that he's her brother before she says that. So that makes
Okay.
more sense to me now. So,
Okay.
but yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to say about Hayward, there's a theory that Hayward is Ultron.
I knew that was going to come.
I don't find that to be realistic at all. There's a chance that he could be working to bring back Ultron. That's why he wants Vision, like that was said in the chat.
That was
I
my
just
name.
want Ultron back. We knew that we were going to get Evan Peters in this show because if you looked up WandaVision cast, Evan Peters came up in the little thingy. So does the voice actor for Ultron. I think at least we're going to be getting a flashback to Ultron, but there's going to be some type of Ultron involved, and I love him. So I'm excited about that.
Welcome in,
So I
Dennis.
think I agree with you, Kenzie. I don't think that Ultron will become. I don't think that he's Ultron. I think that he has visions of grandeur with Vision to create his version of Ultron to where he can control Vision to protect, kind of like what Iron Man did by creating Ultron. He wants a protector that Sword can rely on to protect the Earth. He's just going around it in the wrong way, and doesn't care about the enhanced people. That's why he wants to kill Wanda, because she's in the way of getting Vision.
I can't stand the way he talks about Wanda. I can't stand Hayward in general. He's a horrible person, and I wanted so badly for him to get sucked into the Hex because Wanda would have just it would have been gorgeous, and I'm very disappointed.
To be honest, I think that Hayward is the bad guy for this series, but then there's an underlying character who has ties in with Pietro that will become the main bad guy for the entire
The big bad.
Series.
So-
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tracy.
I think now that you got Haywood, who's lost a lot of his personnel.
Hey,
I mean, we really don't know how much Sword has as far as personnel. We had Sword, some FBI agents and some other agents, but he's now lost a lot of his personnel to the Hex.
They're all clowns.
They're all clowns and
They're all clowns.
circus
Now,
people.
what I found interesting is that when Wanda increased the Hex field and she incorporated the Hex or incorporated the new individuals, they didn't just stop like they did outside of the reach of where she, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when we seen Vision going out and around and farther away from Wanda, he got the more and more these guys were in loops or they were just standing still. These guys, maybe it takes a while for them to come in to 100% control over Wanda's mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Welcome in, Tina.
What's up, Tina? The board game cheetah.
Well, that's what I don't understand. Like when Vision's walking towards the Ellis Street, crossing that border where Wanda tells her kids not to go past Ellis Avenue or Ellis Street or whatever.
Yeah, Ellis Avenue.
Everybody is trick or treating, but they're all like stuck. So, they had to be at some point. They had to get ready for Halloween, but they were like Wanda couldn't. I don't know if it was because Pietro was there and he was like ruining. Because I think he's there just to get in her head a little bit for some reason. Because he keeps, where's your accent? Where's your accent? He just keeps.
That was an amazing moment where I was like, oh, that was beautiful. When he's just, where's yours? Like he just throws it right into her face because he's basically calling her a hypocrite, and it's insane.
And then she yeets him whenever he says your dead husband can't die twice.
But she's telling him, you look different, and then it's just all the interaction between Wanda. I think he's breaking her grasp on that whole reality. Because every time he has like an interaction with Pietro, something happens. Like she looks back at him and he's the dead.
That was crazy.
Well, she did that with Vision too.
And by the way, Vision's died twice already.
Yeah, then he's trying to be so nice to her, and he's like, I think it's awesome. She's like, you don't think it's wrong? And he said, I think it's awesome. Yeah, I'm your brother. You could talk to me. Like, he's trying to get it out of her. And then she started confessing, like, I don't know. I just felt lonely. I don't know how I did it.
So sometimes it felt like he was her conscience.
Yeah.
But then other times it was like he was just poking the bear, and
yes.
And so that's where it's confusing, and we don't quite know what's going on yet. So,
but he's sleeping. He's sleeping at 4 p.m. He's got the.
Well, he's a man child. He's like a teenager.
Yeah. All right.
And like, I think this is giving more evidence that Wanda didn't do this on her own because, she even says, she's like, I was alone. I felt, hopeless. I felt in that way. So I feel that maybe she had help from someone and she has that amnesia. She doesn't know how she technically started it.
Yeah.
I think there's so much more to it. I'm starting to feel like it might not be Agnes. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
I think Agnes has something important to do, but I don't know if she's as involved as people think she is.
Did you notice Agnes was dressed up as a witch, though?
Yes.
That was her Halloween costume?
That's, of course, that was my entire theory last week, was that Agnes was in responsibility, responsible for it. But now that seeing her in the car, I still feel like that she was a nod to that character. But now I don't feel like she has any control over any of it either. I think she just they borrowed that character for this position as Wanda's best friend because that's where she was in the comics. Yeah.
I don't think she's, completely innocent. I think she knows what's going on, and I think she has some type of,
Well, they all do.
They can't figure out who she is, though.
Yes, like the one guy, Frankenstein. He said, "Are you
Herb.
okay, Wanda?"
Herb.
He's like, "Do you want me to change something?"
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, he said, would you like something changed?
Or would you like something changed? Whatever.
Like, I don't know how he could
It's
do
like
that though? How could he?
Well,
do
he
that? Or
he
just do
asked
it
her,
over,
"Would
or-
you like something changed?" So it's kind of like he knows that they're being manipulated. Go ahead,
Mhm.
Tracy.
Here's the difference, and maybe Agnes is a little bit more involved than what you think. I was kind of like always on the fence as Agnes being
Agatha.
Agatha. You got to remember when he sees Agatha or he sees Agnes, right? She's in the car on that corner by Ella Street. Everybody else in this area is completely motionless
That's
Yeah.
true.
and staged. Agnes is not. So
Well-
how do you know she says she took a wrong turn?
She's in
maybe
a
she-
trance, though. She's kind of in a
Well,
trance.
I think she was on her way. She was trying to escape. And I think that, because of the freezing of that area now that they can't, and that she got stuck. And until Vision shows up, she can't really do anything.
Yeah.
And then that's when.
But
course,
none
that's
of
when
the
we
other
find out,
people, because when Vision's walking through, none of those people suddenly are able to start moving, though.
No.
or talk, and they won't even talk to him.
Well, no.
Right.
But
I
I'm
wonder if he
saying
would have
that-
gone up to them and touched their head. If he could have snapped them out.
Yeah.
Yes, Garrett. This happens after Endgame.
Also, okay, there's one thing that we do have to talk about. That horrible commercial.
Yo,
That-
magic.
Yeah. What was up with that? What did that mean?
So there was a theory that I saw. There's a lot of different theories about what it could be about, but the act of the person starving, some people believe that's a reference to the fact that everyone's starving. Like they're so far out of Wanda's like immediate area, they're frozen, but they're still alive. Those people still need to be like living people.
Yeah.
Some people think that it has to do with the fact that there's just so many people are like slowly dying or something like that. I don't know how much I believe that. I think it has to do more with Wanda herself.
Yeah.
There's a theory that has to do with other people, but I think all of the commercials so far have had to do with Wanda. I feel like it's
Mhm.
probably still consistently about Wanda.
Yeah. And Candy Tank, it reminds me of Once Upon a Time too. Even
Yeah.
down to the road, where you go so far down the road and then there's the cutoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
lot of
so this
have-
is where my new theory comes in with the commercial. And I'll be honest, I did do some research and read some other people's ideas on it and things like that, and I formulated my own. So in the commercial, we see the kid who's basically starving on the desert island. The shark comes up to give him, or to, with the yogurt or whatever it is, and he basically, wants to know what it is, wants to know how it works, all that kind of stuff, and finally agrees to take it, but then he can't open it, and he dies. So, from the things that I've read and the things that I, know from the comics and things, my theory is that it's a metaphor to that Wanda has basically made a deal with the devil, or some character that we don't know yet, who's some powerful thing, who has helped her to create this world, and I feel like it's going to go wrong. And so that's where I'm getting it. She's made a deal with someone who has given her the ability to create this hex, and something might still go wrong. But that's, again, this is totally reading into it.
Right.
This is nothing, because again, most of all the commercials have been either like a memory or like something that happened to Wanda.
They all have to do with trauma in her past.
Right,
Yeah.
or with trauma.
Yeah.
And again, so I don't know if this is something to do with the past or whether this is something that's going on now. That's where a lot of people don't understand either, because this
Right.
was the first one that's just like, what in the world was that?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think
Like you on Adult Swim, like that's
But
what-
also the whole yo magic thing kind of tells me that it's something to do with the magic.
mhm.
And that's where I get it.
it's draining her.
Well,
that
that's what
also,
Stain Amazing says. Because of all the kids out for Halloween. I wonder if Wanda's magic was kind of overwhelmed. Like she's focusing all these people on everything in the core, and the ones on the outskirts are just kind of like hanging out.
Well,
and she needs to kind of consider everybody, but she's so focused now that she's kind of forgotten, lost touch with them on the outskirts.
And I have another theory, and this is again, this is my part. The character of Death, which has ties in with Thanos, which has ties in with lots of the comic books, and something that happened in the kind of underlying theme of the fact that Vision is dead, but now he's alive.
Right.
That Pietro was dead, but now he's alive.
Yep.
That these characters that we have that we thought were dead are back, and there's only so many characters in the comics who have control over Death. And Death, the character itself, is the main one to me. Again, this is all speculation. We have no idea who it's going to really be. That's just my theory. So.
Yeah, she keeps seeing them dead. She's done it once.
Carlos asked, "What's the theory about the lady hanging the ghost replay?" I think she's just frozen in a state where she's, Wanda has her doing a certain task and she's frozen, but you could tell she's in pain because she's crying. She starts to cry while she's hanging that ghost.
Well, and that's what that's where I'm kind of like, well, with the whole thing with Agnes being able to talk.
Yeah.
And it could be because she's a main character that she's able to do that. I have no idea.
Or she was within Wanda's magic at one point.
They all know that they're trapped.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. They're just stuck in this loop and they can't do anything. And I feel like that's where when Agnes, or when he found her, in the car, she was stuck in this loop to where she didn't know what to do. She was just stuck. Until he talked to her, then she finally did. But again, she could talk, unlike the rest of them. So I don't know.
Right. And maybe like we were I was thinking. Yeah. And maybe like I was thinking, because she was in that core group of people that Wanda has been controlling, she does have some movement in her right now. She just happened to travel to the outskirts where there's not as much movement.
Daniel asked about Death and Thanos. Everything Thanos did was to impress Death
in the comics.
In the comics.
Oh, okay.
In the comics.
Nothing to do with the MCU, though.
Yeah, it doesn't have. A lot of people are trying to find ties from the commercials to the Infinity Stones. It's not.
I don't think it has anything to do with the Infinity Stones. I think that storyline's gone.
It's about her past. The Infinity Stones are back where they're supposed to be. They don't exist anymore. They're gone. They're no longer relevant.
Yeah. And like I said, don't take anything that I said about the Death character to heart, because it could be totally wrong. It's just me.
Right.
So
welcome in, Mark and Irene, the wonderful Walter. Thank you for being here.
The only time I can see the Infinity Stone being relevant again is in Loki because of this Tesseract. That's about it.
Well, there's another theory about that this has to do with somehow with the Soul Stone, because the spirits are coming back, of these characters. But again, I just think that there's a switch. So.
And I feel like she knew Nat so much. I feel like she would have wanted to bring her back.
Right.
So what's your theory that's going on between Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel? Because you see Hayward in that briefing saying, I know about your history between Captain Marvel and her. So is there something that happened before, or is he just saying, I know that your mom was good friends with Captain Marvel?
Well, I think
go ahead, Kenzie.
I think Hayward is very anti-enhanced people, because he probably just assumes that all enhanced people are dangers to society or something like that, which is stupid. But I think his sort of idea on it is that you are biased because you grew up around someone who was enhanced, so you have a different opinion about enhanced people, so I don't want you working on this. I think that's kind of the whole thing. I don't think it has... Maybe there's beef between Monica and Captain Marvel. We did see it in a previous episode where she was like... She said something about, doesn't want to talk about her.
Happy Valentine's Day, Meredith. Thank you for being here.
But
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
she could have beef, but I don't think it has to. I don't think the thing that Hayward said about it has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
That's where
I think Hayward was looking for an excuse to get rid of her.
Oh, definitely.
And was definitely trying to push her buttons.
Yeah. Yeah.
And make her fly off the handle for an excuse to get rid of her.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that there's any necessary beef between them. I think that Captain Marvel, she left because she's Captain Marvel and she's off saving the universe. I think that Monica was just left behind with her mom. Now there may be some tension when the next movie happens because she wasn't there for when her mom died. And I think Hayward knows the fact that basically she was raised by Captain Marvel. That's her.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the relationship there between her and her mom.
Yeah.
Okay. Any significance to The Incredibles and the Parent Trap movies being shown at the movie theater? You think?
I think that's just the movies that were on at the time.
The timeline.
But
I
then
think
again,
I think
The
it's a little bit
Incredibles
more
is
than that.
about a superhero
Super
family.
family. And then
True.
the Parent Trap is about
About
twins.
Well,
So-
that's true. Yes, that's true.
So
It may have just
I think there's some
tie-in.
significance there.
Yeah.
maybe just because they picked those two movies because they knew that people like us would sit there and say,
What is the
"What's the
significance?"
significance?"
Yeah.
Right.
So Jeff has like 2 pages full of notes. What else?
You
Yeah, I
go,
do too.
Jeff.
I do too.
Like
Mike-
right in the beginning, when Vision goes out on duty, which he's not supposed to be on patrol duty, Vision's going out to explore. He's trying to figure out what's real out there. And he leaves and he tells Wanda to be good. And he looks at her like, he knows what he's up to.
Mhm.
She's up to. But she turns around and then like Quicksilver's right there in her face, like
Scares her.
what was that all about? What do you think that was all about?
Make her unsettled and nervous and get on her nerves. I think that's.
Yeah.
I think.
Well,
I
that's
agree.
where I think that there's that something else behind Pietro that is trying to undo what Wanda has done, and whether for whatever motives or whatever. But that's where I think that there's a character somewhere that we haven't met yet. That could make a play later on.
Yeah.
I just think that that I don't know. I think Quicksilver's there to stir the pot.
Oh, Will
Yeah.
says it's a reflection of Wanda losing track of time. The Incredibles was released in 2004. Wasn't this
Well,
episode in the
I was going
90s?
to say it too, Will, because the dates are different. Because
They skipped
Yeah.
the 90s.
Yep.
They skipped the 90s. They went from the 80s right to the aughts
yeah.
because Malcolm in the Middle was in the aughts and not in the 90s.
Yeah, well, it was the beginning of 2000s. Yeah,
Where if you look at what they kind of like, you had Family Ties, Full House, and Growing Pains. I think Family Ties, Growing Pains. Family Ties is early 80s, Growing Pains mid 80s, and if I'm not mistaken, Full House actually stretched into the 90s. So they kind of skipped that whole 90s period.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Pietro of Age of Ultron seemed really protective of Wanda, like a big brother. This Pietro is a man-child.
And that's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
would,
Yes.
this Pietro is more like X-Men's
Yes.
than
Right.
our Marvels.
But considering that if you are looking at this where they're parodying, if they're parodying, again, I'm messing up my words. If this is supposed to be based off of, like, say, Malcolm in the Middle, there was 3 boys in Malcolm in the Middle. You had the youngest boy, or actually there was 4 boys. The youngest boy, Malcolm, his brother, and then you had the older brother who was away at army camp or military school. Pietro acts like the combination between Malcolm's
Yeah, but
2
I
older brothers.
don't think that has to do with them trying to make it more like Malcolm in the Middle. I think that's more of a reflection on how chaotic and
Yeah.
trying to mess everything up Pietro is.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
again,
I mean, he scared them, and I mean, he's just all over the place.
the early
literally.
aughts were chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say something else. I don't remember what it was. Oh. I felt really bad for Darcy getting sucked in because I knew once they handcuffed her, I was like, no.
She's stuck.
She's going in.
Yeah, but I'm excited.
She's
I'm
a
excited
survivor.
for what happens to Darcy, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be funny. What
She's-
character is she going to be?
Well, we have to find out what Darcy found behind that other firewall, though, because I
Exactly.
think she found something. She came running out to help. Vision was coming out,
Yeah.
and we find out that they're tracking Vision basically.
Yeah.
They found a way to track Vision in the hex. That's what
Mhm.
they've been doing. They see Vision coming out. Darcy found something. She comes running out to try to help Vision.
Yeah.
I think
And-
she found. I think Hayward's way more involved in the.
I do
creation.
too. I do too.
Way more involved. That I think that's one of the reasons he's able to track Vision. I think he knows more about the inside of the hex than
Yeah.
one.
I mean, who knows? You guys were saying you think that Vision might be there because he wants him to be. Maybe he pulled Wanda in it to bring Vision out again and to help. I mean, who knows? Yeah.
I still think that Wanda stole Vision from Hayward.
I
Do
definitely.
you? Okay.
And I feel like Hayward is now trying to get Vision back. That's all he cares about is Vision.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why he just wants to take Wanda out, because that's the quickest and easiest way.
He
Mhm.
knows more about Wanda. I think Wanda knows more. I think it has to do with the fact that he knows that something up with Vision and Wanda, and rather than let her go and let her, talk, he wants her dead.
Mm-hmm.
He wants her gone, and I just don't like him. He's horrible. I really can't.
Well, Monica has a way back into the hex. We find out it's on its way.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask.
And
Who do we think that it is?
Yeah,
they called somebody, so maybe we'll find out who that is in maybe the next episode or something.
Because we
Probably
only
so.
have what, 3 more left?
Because Monica
Yeah.
wants to go back into the hex.
Because
What?
lots of people in the chat, well, Garrett especially, is saying that it's Mr. Fantastic. Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. I don't think that's going to be the case, but
I don't think you're going to see Mr. Fantastic come into the series. I don't see them introducing a major character like Mr. Fantastic or any of these. They're talking about a special guest actor coming in at the last episode or somewhere within the last episode. Someone that they were so couldn't wait to work with.
Mhm.
So it's either somebody that was in this universe before, but I don't see a major character like Mr. Fantastic or somebody else coming in to be introduced on a TV show. If they're going to introduce Fantastic Four, they're going to introduce it in a movie theater.
Well, there's other theories that it's another X-Men character, that it's Hank McCoy or maybe even Professor X.
But it's got to be someone who existed before Infinity War.
Right.
Well,
Because
Hank McCoy's brilliant. I mean, he's a scientist. He has got a brilliant mind.
And realistically, and I think Keystone's got it, you may see this person that shows up to help them to kind of solve all this might be Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but he's not the type of scientist though she was talking about. But I mean, I don't know.
That's not what we're saying. We're saying
supposed to be
later episodes.
Oh,
yes, and in the later episodes, they're supposed to have one character come in to help them kind of like fix
yeah.
what's
At the
going
end,
on.
yeah.
It may be Doctor Strange. But if I'm not mistaken, Doctor Strange has always been used in the comics to rewrite and retcon all kinds of things. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's much more of a collaborative type comic character, to where he shows up to fix everything, similar to the way he did in Endgame.
Yeah. And
Well, apparently Carlos is having dinner with Kevin Feige on Saturday night, so maybe he'll find out and let us know.
I don't know what that means, but they showed like a little preview thing on the previews they've done, and Vision's like, this is our home and we have to protect it, and he's like flying through the air and there's all kind of chaos. So there's something coming up, but
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and whether or not that's going to be, Wanda versus Vision, which we kind of see snippets of that in the trailer.
Hmm.
We don't know. We don't know whether that's going to be, Sword versus Vision or Sword versus Wanda, or we don't know yet. So
Right.
Oh,
I think Vision's going to continue to be a middle ground character. I don't think he's going to 100% side with Wanda, but I also don't think he's going to 100. I don't think he's going to 100% side with anybody. I
Mhm.
think he's going to look at what is most morally correct for everyone in the world, not just himself and Wanda.
oh, well,
Yeah.
all kidding aside, Carlos is interviewing somebody that worked on WandaVision
Yeah.
Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. So go check that out Saturday
Yeah,
at
that'd
10
be interesting. Now,
Eastern.
you also got to remember, and I think Kenzie's right here. Vision is the only person of the Avengers, other than Thor, who could lift that hammer in Age of Ultron, because he is
Right.
he was deemed worthy, and so I think once he realizes what's going on, he's definitely going to do the right thing. If he has to go against Wanda to stop it, he will. If there's
Yeah.
something else is going on. What's your theory that when Vision walks through the barrier into the real world, that yes, he starts disintegrating, but the Mind Stone stays on his head?
He can't
Oh.
exist out of the hex.
He can't, but the
No.
Mind Stone was there outside of the hex, or was the hex still trying to pull him back because the
That's
hex
what
knew
it
he
was.
he could not exist outside.
I think that's what it is. I think it was trying to suck him back in and trying to keep him because the hex is what's keeping him alive. Without the hex, he's going to deteriorate.
Right.
I feel that if he had 100% deteriorated, the Mind Stone that's on his head would have just become a normal stone. I don't think it would have stayed the Mind Stone.
Mm.
I think it would have become something irrelevant.
Right.
Yeah.
So would this have happened to Agnes if she would have tried to break through that barrier? Think she would have
I
came
don't-
apart, or she's a real
Human
person,
being. Yeah.
so she could have
Yeah.
escaped.
I don't think she would have been able to get out.
What's
No?
her name came out? Monica Rambeau came
Well,
out.
that's
She
because
got-
she
got
made her.
shot out.
She made her go
She
out.
kicked her out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
don't.
what done?
No, go ahead, Kens.
No, I think that the people would be able to. I think it's just the fact that Vision is literally dead outside of it is why he's being pulled back in.
Yeah.
I think anybody could technically leave if they were able to, if they had the opportunity to get through it. I think they could.
Maybe they
Maybe
freeze.
they just get to a certain
and then they
point, and then they
freeze.
just
They can't. I don't
lose
think
their
they,
minds.
they just can't
Yeah.
go any further.
Yeah.
That's why they're all stuck like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Me personally, my opinion is the only people that can pass through to leave that
Barrier?
has to have some connection to the Mind Stone.
That doesn't make sense. What?
There's only
Well, because that's where the power comes from.
the power
Yeah.
comes from the Mind Stone. Which
But
is
how did,
Wanda's power.
how did Monica get out?
She was kicked out by Wanda with
Yeah, but
Wanda
you're-
magic.
But if you're saying that I don't know, it's not doesn't your explanation doesn't make sense to me, but it's fine.
Well, the only reason why, I mean, you got to remember
I
that
understand what you're saying. I just don't think it's right.
it may not be right. It may be 100% wrong, but I don't see. I think if normal people, they're being mind altered or suppressed, so they wouldn't go past there. I think the kids could go through the barrier because what did she tell the kids? Stay away from Ellis. Don't
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And maybe that's why she
yeah.
kept the kids off the streets for as long as she did, right?
Oh.
Because they can get through.
Tracy's on.
So I don't think that anybody can get out other than Wanda.
I think
And-
Wanda, Vision, the twins can pass through that barrier.
Well, I don't even think the twins can. I think she didn't want them going over there because she didn't want to get hurt. I don't think
Or
that
seeing
anybody
something
can go
weird.
through-
Yeah.
I don't think that because you saw how hard it was for even Vision to get through.
Yes, true.
And I just feel like he would be the only one to be able to pass through it because it's Vision. I don't think that I don't know what would happen to you if you tried to go through it on your own. You
Right.
know, whether it would just whip you back or, you know, because who knows? I mean, again, we're just speculating on this. Is a kind of a moot point, but I mean, you know, I just feel like the barrier is there to keep people from escaping the illusion.
All right. I have one more question to ask before I know we're running out of time. I'm sorry. So Billy senses Vision is in trouble. How come Wanda didn't sense he was in trouble? Like, how come Billy could hear what was going on? Wanda could not. Is it because Wanda
He
you
was
think
so
is
distracted.
I think that's pretty much
because of Quicksilver
Yeah, I think
distraction?
she was so focused on figuring out what he was talking about, figuring out what is going on with him, that she couldn't really sense it. I think that I think it has to do more with the fact that she's just so overwhelmed with all of this magic she's using.
Yeah.
It was just
Well,
wasn't enough to get in.
and until she blasts Pietro,
Oh.
then she refocuses and is able to, you know, because
Yeah, that's
she
true.
freezes everything that's going on inside to then, you know, extend the barrier, and I think that's where she, you know, she regains control of that power.
But how does Pietro know? Like when he says, "Don't sweat it, sis," it's not like your dead husband can die twice. Like, how does he even know? He died before Vision died.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he's involved somehow. He's, you know, he knows everything that's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no filter on him. You know, he's because even different things that happen throughout this episode, you know, he's playing the crazy uncle because that's his part in this show, and he even
Yeah.
says that, well, I'm just here playing the crazy uncle, you know, and he's playing a part. He's there. He knows that he's, you know, to play a part in this, but he doesn't really have a part because he just showed up on his own.
Yeah.
So he can do whatever he wants,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and so I think he knows that and he's taking advantage of it. So
Yeah, even after Billy told her, she, like Carlos said, he needed her to hit him the focus and tell her exactly where he was, and that's when she started expanding the hex.
Yeah,
and I don't think we really even know how much she expanded it. It could still
Yeah.
be going on.
Did it expand on all sides or just on that one side? Or
it seems to just completely grow
yeah, like
because
yeah.
it stays as that hexagon shape, which
Right.
we still don't understand why that is. But you know, and part of that too, and Chris was saying, you know, Billy could be part of Vision. You know, part of Billy's powers, you know, they mirror Wanda's.
Mm-hmm.
But they also mirror some of Vision's, and so they, you know, so he's got those powers, whereas Speed or Tommy has the powers of Pietro. He's a speedster, and so you know, so we see that where we finally see Billy's powers come out because this is the first time he's had powers.
Right. Yeah, it's been amazing. It must have been scary for Billy that his power manifested the first time with him sensing that his dad was dying. And then Carlos says, yeah, and at the beginning of the episode, at the end of last episode, you know, Quicksilver didn't even know who Vision was. He goes, "Who's the popsicle?" So how does he know? Something's up with, yeah.
Well, you also got to remember is maybe the reason why Billy's power was latent and became active is because Vision was in trouble.
Right.
Maybe that's what activated his powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Of course, we also still don't know, you know, anything about the kids. You know, are they real? Are they fake? Are they part of manifestations? Or what are they?
I think
We don't know.
they're very much like Pietro in the fact that they're not able to be controlled by Wanda. I think it's really interesting. And I know it's going to be really hard figuring out whether or not they can exist outside of the hex because, you know, I feel like we're going to get attached to these kids. We already have a little bit of a sense of who the kids are. We're starting to understand them a little bit. And, you know, it's going to be really difficult if they can't survive out of it because that will literally break Wanda, literally destroy her.
Again, going back to the story from the comics, that's what happens. Is that this none of this is real. It all collapses, and that's when she becomes Scarlet Witch. I mean, that's when she becomes the villain that she is until later on in the comics. That's her story arc, is that she loses everything that she's loved and she goes mad. So
Tina, Teresa, she's asked what 3 movies that will help us. Age of Ultron,
Infinity War,
and
Endgame.
Those 3 will give you what you need to know about the lead up. I mean, you could throw Civil War in there, but I don't think you need it.
yeah,
I think the only reason you would need Civil War is more context about Wanda and Vision's relationship.
yeah.
And if you want to watch Black Panther, it has to deal with the vibranium. So
Right.
But there's
that's just what he's made of. So
right.
But you
But
get
that's-
all of that. You get
there's a
all
lot of that in Ultron.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't know what vibranium is in the Ultron movie, you could go watch Black
Just
Panther.
go watch them all,
Watch
Yeah.
every Marvel movie.
and then go back and watch all of our nerd talks talking about it.
Don't
have
watch the Hulk.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't watch the Hulk. It's not needed.
Yes.
You
Unimportant.
could possibly do
like you
away
said,
with Thor 3 or not Thor 3.
No,
you could do
you
away
need
with
Dark
Iron Man
World.
3.
You need Dark World
Oh,
because of the Infinity
That's
Stone.
Infinity Stone.
And you get to know who Darcy is, right? When do we know who
Darcy
is?
Thor.
Darcy, you know,
Yeah,
in Thor.
Okay.
First one.
Okay. So
What a waste of time with that Hulk. That was all Disney Dan, Suzanne. We never told anybody to watch the Hulk.
yeah.
Have we ever told anybody to watch the Hulk?
No.
I don't think we've ever.
Chris says after each episode, it always suggests watching Age of Ultron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, on
Right,
Disney
Chris.
Plus it does, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that gives you the history, and then you could see how their relationship evolved with the other two.
Well, even Age of Ultron, if you watch it all the way to the end, it has Thanos saying, "I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
I'll do it myself." So, all right. Wow,
Speaking of,
that went really quick.
it did go really quick, and I would love to say, after we sat through Super Bowl last week, what did you think of the promo for Winter Soldier or Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I haven't
I
watched
mean, I really wanted to talk about that today, but we blew through time. But that was awesome, and I can't wait for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Is this a therapy session between Falcon and
Yes,
Yeah,
and
it
Winter Soldier? I think it's a big therapy session, right? That's what it is.
I think it might be.
Well, Tracy, I know you said you might have to work Thursday, but maybe that's something we can talk about on Thursday.
Maybe.
Oh, there you go.
Chris Blue Nose was the one that sent me the preview.
Yeah.
I loved it. I can't wait for that one.
And when you
Seems like
look
there's
at
going to
this-
be a lot of fighting. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but anyway,
Well,
go ahead.
It's more of an action movie, but here we got. If you're looking at this, we have WandaVision. As soon as WandaVision wraps up, we're going right into with Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm assuming as soon as Falcon and the Winter Soldier wraps up, we're going straight into, I don't know, that weird guy with the big horns. I keep forgetting his name.
Loki.
Lucky.
Oh, that's right, Lucky.
Lucky.
Lucky. That's his name, right?
So wait a minute. Is there a week in between WandaVision and Winter Soldier though, so that we can do a recap?
Oh yeah, maybe.
There is.
There's
There's a
got to
week,
be
okay.
probably, but
Or we
Lucky.
might have a special night. Lucky.
Hey, Lucky's his name, right? Thor's brother was Lucky.
She's ignoring you, Tracy.
Lackey.
Loki Charm.
Lackey.
Not even
Lackey?
listening to because it's
Lackey. That's the name.
Lackey.
Lackey and Pocahontas was the name of the show.
Oh my, she's not laughing at all.
Oh, she muted herself. All right. We only have a few minutes left, so let's go around the horn and see what you guys have coming up. Russ?
Well, as soon as I get off here, I'm going to jump over with Chris and Tina. We're going to continue to watch the Daytona 500 if it continues to happen, because right now it's pouring down rain.
Oh jeez.
And
Oh jeez. This rain.
they've got a red flag, so it's stopped right now. But head over there if you guys want to hang out and do that.
Leaky.
And then actually Saturday's still kind of up in the air at the moment too.
Yeah.
We need to talk. We've got some plans we're
Yeah.
trying to work out.
Yeah.
But then other than that, Tuesday for book club, 3:00 on Tina's channel. for Her Majesty's Secret Service. So
Awesome. All right, Kenzie girl, what you got coming up?
Other than trying to kick my butt after this stream.
Oh yeah.
Had the broom.
My stream at 4:30 tomorrow.
Yeah.
you gonna talk about Lucky?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I think that's it. I don't really have much to do this week stream wise.
Are you gonna do like a little history of? Can you do a little history of Wanda maybe tomorrow? Like how she's evolved through.
I could.
You know,
I'll figure something out. Yeah.
I think that would be good. Give people like a little background because you know a lot about her. So
I do love Wanda. So
yes, and you could show some of your pictures that you had taken, like with you and Tina. I think that would be great because you know. Because we talked about, like, you were talking about the Wanda costumes, and everybody's going to want to do that.
All right.
So,
Real quick, who's more powerful, Wanda or Jean Grey?
Wanda.
Jean Grey.
who's Jean Grey?
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey's from X-Men.
Are you talking about Jean Grey or are you talking about Phoenix? Because two different people.
I'm talking about Jean Grey.
Yeah,
Jean
Wanda.
Grey as the Dark Phoenix would pretty much.
Yeah,
wipe
but
out
that's two different things.
you can't compare.
Phoenix is a different entity.
All right. There's there's some more content for your stream tomorrow, Kenzie. Who's more powerful, Wanda or
I have
X?
watched every single X-Men movie. I didn't watch Dark Phoenix. I didn't.
Wolverine.
Interesting to me.
You need to watch the old X-Men cartoons.
Wolverines.
Wolverine
Oh,
always
sorry.
wins.
Sorry, wrong movie.
What do you got going on, Tracy?
Tuesday, if I'm not working, I will be popping into book club, and then Thursday I have Not Wasting Time. I haven't figured out what else I got to go on this week. I know our friend Tina will be doing a crafting stream on Wednesday. That's I don't craft. That's her job. So I probably won't make that one, but I think
Craft
she's
some
also
Legos. Craft some Legos.
Yeah, I think she's doing it for a fundraiser for our good friend Pete.
Nice.
And I'll let you guys talk about Pete if you want to. You know, I know that Kelly sent him sprinkles and Jeff didn't, but you know. And then I host
Tough crowd.
I host Wanda Nerd Talk next week on my channel, 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Cool. Okay. What do we have coming up?
Well, I don't know if we're doing anything today.
Yeah,
doing anything today?
I don't know if we are or not. We
We're
might
gonna
go
try to
somewhere.
go
We
over
don't
that.
have any park tickets.
We're going to try to go to Hollywood Studios
we wanted
get
to
Zach's lightsaber fixed.
Yeah, but we can't get in. No, nothing is available today. So I don't know. We might do something. Maybe go to a resort or something for
Maybe.
dinner. I don't know. But then,
Just take the day off and rest.
yeah, there you go. How about that? But then tomorrow we're at Magic Kingdom. So we'll be in Magic Kingdom probably in the early part of the day. Then we're going to take a break midday, and then in the evening we'll probably go do something. So, and that's it. Then Thursday we have Dreaming with the Mouse. We might try to shift that time a little later because it's really interfering with. I have meetings later now till like 5. So I don't know.
Send Pete M&Ms with my face on them.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
Who
you go.
would want to eat those?
That'll make Pete feel a lot better.
Yeah, he could toss them at people.
Yeah.
He'd be tossing
So-
something.
So I'll let you talk about Pete.
Yeah, so if you guys just want to keep Pete in your prayers, I've been talking to him almost on a daily basis, and he seems like he wants people to reach out to him and send him well wishes. I know it's boring being in a hotel room. He's not in a hotel room. He's in a hospital room.
Yeah.
So just keep Pete in your prayers. If you want to, give him a call, and
Or send him a message.
Send him a card. Send him a message. He's reading them all. He tells me he's reading them all, and he's.
Do you have a way to send him a card? No.
I don't have his. If you don't have his address,
P.O. box. P.O. box.
His information's on his website, on his YouTube page.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And
in a
there's
hotel
like
room.
there's
right, Garrett?
what's going around?
So Walt has a fundraiser, a GoFundMe.
Yeah,
He's gonna ride the Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror twice if he hits a certain.
Yes.
Oh, he already hit it.
Yeah, he's already hit it.
He's already hit it. So
Yes.
next Sunday, Walt will be riding the Tower of Terror twice. But just keep Pete in your prayers, and
Yeah.
James Gebhard, welcome in.
Yes.
Welcome in.
Thanks, Chris. Chris
Yes.
texted him. Yeah. So
Thanks, Chris.
yeah, but we're trying to keep his spirits up.
Trying
and
to keep the
everything.
spirits up.
I told him he needs to come down here to get his sprinkles, and we are going to hold off on giving him his cupcake because he's got to come down here.
Yep.
So
Is that what you told him?
yes,
Okay.
I talked to him yesterday.
I told him that he has to, get better to come down, and I promised that Jeff would buy all the sprinkles that he wants.
That's right.
That's
Thank
what
you,
I told.
Russ.
That's what I
I
told.
mean, hey,
He gets to hand pick each one he wants.
and the best
Yes.
thing is Jeff's going to use Garrett's credit card to pay for it all.
Yeah.
I think we need Pete here to say for the slide challenge in June. On your marks, get set, go.
And he can
He
can do
the announcing.
announcer
Mhm.
part.
Yep.
You can do the
Yes.
play-by-play.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
So, well, hey, Mike Wheeler, he's raised 2205.
Yeah.
Wow,
so-
that's great.
Only one cup. No. I said I will. This is what I told him. I said I'd buy him all the cupcakes he wants, and his wife
Hey, Garrett.
said his sugar, his things will be through the roof.
His numbers,
His
yeah.
numbers will
so-
be through the roof.
I told him that he can have all the sprinkles, all the Gideons, and all the Everglades that he wants, and that Jeff's paying, and that
Yeah.
I'll sit there and help him eat it. So
Yeah. Oh my.
All right.
Oh goodness. Well, thanks for being here, everyone. Hanging out with us.
Yep. And we're way over time. So go watch Chris.
Chris
Give Chris
Dadbill.
Dad Bill some
Dad
love.
Bill.
I'm going to drop that link right now.
Yeah.
He's
He's
to know which stolen credit card number you want.
Oh geez.
still Garrett. You're funny. Yeah. So go tell over to Dad Bill's. Tell him we sent you. Nerd Talk sent you over there, and go watch some Daytona 500. I don't understand the car races.
I'll be there
But I'll
shortly.
go over there and I'm going to say hi. Chris is a good guy. He's part of the Legion of Doom as well.
Oh, there is a car crash and weather, so the
Oh.
race is on hold.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm sure he's still on with Tina. So
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're still on there, and they're
So-
still talking. So we'll
yeah, we'll be
see how long it
Thanks.
takes.
So Tracy posted the link. We're going to go over there right now. Everybody have a great night. Thank you to the moderators.
Yes.
Thank you,
thanks.
Dean, at the live place for all you do. And
Mhm.
Pete, rest up, get better. I know you're ninja watching everything, so
Yes.
get better. We need you
Love-
down here.
Love you, Pete.
Love you, Pete.
Hearts.
All right. Talk
All
to
right.
everybody later. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.